If you want more like this, you can go ahead and follow me. All right, looks like I am live on all platforms. Hello, world. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. I'm going to hit record here. I'm recording all of these sessions so that I have them for later use. Make sure sound's coming through. It is good. All right. Very cool. Very cool. So today I'm going to be starting the session, right around 7 o'clock. I started a little bit early for getting on here just to see if anybody wanted to join and ask any questions. This way I could pin my my website up in the comments, hockeytownhypnotist.com. Make sure I spell it correctly. We're going to go ahead and just pin that up there. But yeah, I am Tommy G, the Hockeytown Hypnotist, and I'm going to do a free session in just a second here. I know so many people could use a little bit of a boost, little something for getting through some hard times here. And if nobody watches, that's okay. Maybe somebody will watch it later on, and that's great. But whoever wants to join can join. Whoever wants to do the watch back, whoever wants to download the audios later on, it's all going to be available as a possibility. But I want to put this out there. I think it's going to be good. All right, let me just take a look here, see if anybody is out there. I see one set of eyes on each platform, so that's all right. Stick around if you want to experience some free hypnosis. It's not going to be the goofy stuff. It's going to be breaking free from people-pleasing. People-pleasing is one of those potentially toxic traits that we have sometimes, where we feel like we need to put everybody else's feelings before our own. And while there is a time and place for putting people's feelings first, there is also a time and place for making sure that our needs are being met. So I want to make sure we can work through some of those tendencies together. And a lot of times with hypnosis, oh my gosh, I can't stop yawning. But a lot of times with hypnosis, it's just one of those things where you could get free of these habits and these tendencies within one session. Let's see if I can go live on LinkedIn too. I know they recently started a whole thing of going live. Ooh, let's see here. Can I go live? Live video. Since I've got 1 minute here, might as well try, right? Let's turn my volume all the way down so it doesn't mess anything up. Seeing some people joining here on TikTok. Very cool. Seeing slow start. That's all right. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. We've got time. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go live wherever we can. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do LinkedIn Live for some reason. They are a little weirder. That's okay. I don't really care about LinkedIn very much. LinkedIn, just, it is what it is. Not a super big fan. Never had a whole lot of good experiences on LinkedIn. It's mostly people just trying to sell you stuff. And I'm trying to give this away. That'll be good. All right, I'm going to stop this recording over here, though. I'm going to start it over because I don't need all that other stuff. All right, but it is 7:01. I'm going to start my session here. Anyone who wants to experience some hypnosis, a free session, we're breaking free from people-pleasing tendencies today. And people-pleasing is that habit that makes us feel like we need to say yes to everybody else, and we don't say no enough. I know I've had that tendency. I know my wife has had that tendency. I know many people who, there have been times when we've wanted to say no, and instead we've said yes, just because we felt like we would be letting someone else down if we said no, or we felt like, it would strain the relationship or something, and that's not healthy. So I want to get us set up. I want to get us set up for success here. And anyone who thinks that this would benefit somebody else, I would love for you to share it with them. Tag them in the comments. This is public, so you should be able to tag them. And I would just love to get to impact as many people as possible. I think the more people we can help, the better the world will be. And, I also am of the philosophy that this only takes me an hour out of my day. And if I can give an hour of my day to help benefit the internet world for a little while, then I've made good use of that day. And so, yeah, I want to share breaking free from people-pleasing tendencies today. We're going to do a session on that. And so, I'm going to yawn. Get the yawning out of my system now. Get some energy in me. All right, here we go. And I've got my website pinned in the comments on Facebook here. So if you are watching from Facebook, feel free to check that out, hockeytownhypnotist.com. I do individual personalized sessions as well. I've had wonderful results for the people who work with me. And so I'm going to begin now. So what I'd like you to do when you are ready, when you are in a place where you can just relax. When you're in a place where you can just relax and close your eyes safely and allow yourself to experience fully this mental state of receptivity and relaxation and complete focus, the state that we call hypnosis, we can begin. And hypnosis, as we know, is just this natural state of mind. It's a brainwave state. We would consider it between alpha and theta in the brainwave frequency levels, and it's just a heightened state of receptivity and strong, concentrated focus. It's utilizing just a wonderful relaxation to bring about positive change. And we all go in and out of hypnosis at different times in the day. And when we intentionally utilize this state, we can really make profound impact. And so what I'd like to do today is just invite you to, wherever you're sitting, just have your hands in your lap, feet flat on the floor. Or if you're laying down, you can just lay comfortably. Maybe your hands on your stomach or your lower abdomen, and just close your eyes now. And just give yourself permission to enter into this wonderfully relaxed hypnotic state. Tell yourself, I give myself permission to enter into this wonderful, relaxed hypnotic state now. And it can feel strange to give ourselves permission for things like this, but we are the ultimate authority in our own minds, and even if we feel like we don't take ourselves seriously enough at times, our own inner voice is the determining authority in so many parts of our lives, really in a vast majority of our lives. And so I want you to, with your eyes closed now, just think about the shape of your hands. Think about what they look like. resting wherever they are. And just let them relax and rest. And as they relax further and more, for some, it may feel like they are heavier and heavier, as though there's just a comfortable weight to them. For others, it may feel like they're just resting, but lighter than air. Somehow resting as though they are light as air. And whichever you're experiencing, or even if you're experiencing totally different sensation, I want you to think about the outline of your hands and the shape that they are right now. I want you to think about the outline of the shape of your hands. And I want with your eyes closed, as I count down from 10 to 1, I want you to imagine you are drawing around the outline of your hands now. When I count from 10 down to 1, as I count from 10 down to 1. Imagine you are drawing with your eyes the outline of your fingers all around your hands, back and forth. It can be slow, it can be fast. Do it at your own comfortable pace. And as I count from 10 down to 1, I want you to just let your mind become more profoundly receptive. And you can tell that to yourself now in your mind. You could say, as Tommy counts from 10 down to 1, and I trace my fingers with my eyes and my mind, I become more and more receptive with each number, each breath, each outlined finger. And you can let yourself become more and more receptive with each number, each breath, each outlined finger, drawing with your eyes closed. Just imagining the shape of your fingers, of your hands, letting those hands just melt into the surface they are laid on. Begin now. 10. More and more receptive, more and more relaxed. 9. More receptive still, relaxing even further. Every muscle, bone, fiber in your body. 8. Tracing your fingers with your eyes and your mind, imagining what they look like, just the outline. 7. Receptive, more relaxed and focused. 6. With each breath, becoming more and more focused on my voice. 5. And as that focus grows, 4. The relaxation grows with it. 3. And that receptivity as well. 2. More and more receptive, focused, and relaxed. 1. And let yourself melt down. Allow yourself to go into this beautiful hypnotic state. Go into hypnosis now. And let this relaxation fill you from the tip of your head down to the tips of your toes. Every muscle, bone, fiber, tissue in your body just melting away. Whatever relaxation can mean to you. And for some of you, you're laying down. For some, you're sitting up straight. And wherever you are, if you have balance now, you can maintain that perfect balance. If you have let yourself slump down and relax more, then that's wonderful too. The important thing is just letting your mind focus and relax, and my voice guiding and bringing you into this wonderful receptive state we call hypnosis. Just take a deep breath in now through your nose and out and relax more. Take another deep breath in, and as you let it out, let your jaw muscles relax so that your jaw just wants to hang loose. Another deep breath in, and let your eye muscles and the muscles around your eyes relax and melt, becoming more focused and more receptive with each and every passing breath and passing moment. The more receptive you become, the more focused you become, the more focused you become, the more receptive you become. And all the while, this relaxation spreads and fills you and allows your whole mind and body and spirit all as one to just open and relax. We often are confronted with people who may or may not have our best interests at heart. And even if they do have our best interests at heart, there's sometimes this sort of nagging feeling within us that we need to make our presence to them entirely pleasing. We as humans are social creatures, and we have this desire to gain approval from others. We have this desire, this innate need to belong, with very few exceptions. And it feels good to belong. It feels good to have a tribe of people that you can contribute to and in turn rely on. And sometimes occasionally we may find ourselves in a situation where someone asks something of us. Maybe it's them inviting us somewhere. Maybe it's them asking a favor. Whatever it is. Maybe it's just them seeking our agreement with them on something. Or it's us perceiving that they're seeking that. And sometimes we feel excited to say yes and to agree with them in the moment. Only to later wish we had said no, and set that boundary. Wishing we had more vocally set a boundary and disagreed or declined the request. I know I've been there. I'm sure you can think of a time when When even in that moment you wanted to say no, and instead you made it sound like you weren't sure. You wanted to say no, in your heart you were saying, no, I don't really want to do that. And your mouth said something like, I don't know, or I'm not sure, or oh, maybe, or something. I know I've done that. I want you to think of the results and the feeling in those moments. Let's start with the moment of something is being asked of us now. There's a request, whether it's an implied request or if it's an outright request. I want to think about that feeling within us now. Think about what they are asking and hold that feeling to yourself now. And for some people it will be positive, for others it will be less than positive. It'll be conflicted. I want you to think of the motivations you have for saying yes in those moments. Think about the why behind the yes. Is it to avoid conflict? Is it to gain an in with someone who you've been wanting to be closer with? To gain intimacy with someone that you crave intimacy with, whatever that means to you. Think of the why. And now I want you to release that feeling. Take a deep breath in and release that feeling now into just openness, openness, openness. And as that feeling fades, I want you to think of the feeling that follows that first one. Oftentimes when we agree to something that we wish we hadn't, we end up straining the relationship that we are looking to build. We often feel a sense of resentment, a lack of self-control, a lack of control over life, and it drains us. And feel that now. Recall that feeling. And take a deep breath in and release it. Breathe it out all the way. moving into the next stage. The stage where even if we were able to complete the task that was asked of us, the request being fulfilled on our end, sometimes there's a sense of relief on our end, but oftentimes it's a feeling of being taken advantage of slightly, or more than slightly. It's funny how we will sometimes build a scenario in our heads around what would happen if we said yes to something that we should have said no to, or could have said no to. Sometimes it's with a boss. I've had this where a boss requests something of me and I immediately say, yes, I can handle that, and I get to work on it, and I just work myself so much getting it done as best as I can, and then it turns out when I turn in the assignment, that turned into a just expected behavior. There wasn't a whole lot of a thank you. There wasn't a lot of praise. There was no reward attached to it. It was no new closeness or relationship growth. It was just, okay, thanks. It just didn't feel right to me. Maybe you've had that at home. Maybe it was worse. Or maybe you did get what you had hoped to get out of it, but you still feel the strain. Our yeses and nos are powerful. Yes and no. They are both complete sentences. They're single answers. There's no need for follow-up from there. Someone says, hey, can you help me with this tomorrow afternoon? Maybe you had different ideas of what you wanted to do with your time, or you didn't have any ideas at all, but you didn't want to do that thing. You can simply say no. I want you to think the word no in your head now. What's funny about that request is that I'm telling you what I want, and in your mind your response is a negative to the thing I'm asking you to do while doing the positive of what I'm asking. And it's a strange sort of conundrum we face there. And I want you to know that everything I tell to you or ask of you in this session, I'm asking for nothing in return. You have control in this scenario, and I have no way of knowing if you're following the steps or if you're declining to follow those steps. But I want you to get out of this whatever your subconscious mind knows you need to get out of it. What I'd like you to do is, in your mind, imagine a silhouette of yourself on the left and a silhouette of yourself on the right. Now, on the left, I want you to picture yourself as the people pleaser, the stereotypical yes person. Doesn't want to ruffle feathers. Wants to appease everybody, wants everyone to like them, wants everyone to be happy with them. And think about how others often view that person. You see, in our hearts, we want to be viewed as the go-to person, the person that can be relied on, the person that can be helpful. The go-to person. And in reality, we often are viewed as the pushover, the easy to take advantage of person, even in an unconscious or subconscious way. It isn't always a conscious thing that people take advantage of the people pleasers, but it falls into place that way. Because when someone is unwilling to say no, it only relieves room for yes. And that yes can turn into a toxic cocktail of resentment. That person on the left, that silhouette on the left, it's like they're receiving a constant bombardment of just intense everything. I think of it almost like sunlight. When you're out in the sun and you're not protecting yourself from the sun. The sun is it's a necessary thing. We need the sun. We need that sunlight. And still, when we're out in that sun and we don't protect ourselves from it in some way, and it just beats down on us and it completely shines all over us all the time. In the moment, it can feel wonderful, and later on, it can just burn. And it can have even long-term negative effects. It can even end our lives too early. People-pleasing has that same tendency. We're taking it all in and not protecting ourselves against it. And what we need to do is think about that person who goes out in the sun, but they're protected. Whether it's a sunscreen or covering with clothing or some sort of umbrella or just being in the shade. Protecting while still getting to be in the presence of the one sending those requests, thinking of the sunlight as the requests, those rays, all the UV and all of these rays that are coming at us. We can still be in the presence of the sun without being in a direct recipient of that intense sunlight. Because if you get burned from that sunlight, then for the next little while, anytime you're in that sunlight, it's going to burn even more. And the feeling lasts after You're not even in the presence of the sun anymore. So I want you now to think of yourself that silhouette being bombarded by this sunlight. And I want you to imagine that silhouette covering with sunblock, or whatever you want to use in your mind, but I'm just thinking sunblock because of what it implies. It's a barrier against the rays that will allow for burnout. The barrier protects us from burnout. I want you to put on that sunblock, and you can do that physically now. Put on that sunblock wherever it needs it, whatever is exposed. And now see that silhouette. Sun reflecting off of that silhouette. And wipe it away. And sit with that for a moment. I want you to imagine a scenario now where someone is asking or requesting something of you, putting you in a position where you would usually feel like you need to say yes, but you don't want to. It could even be a situation you've already lived. I want you to think that now and pause the scene before you respond. Go ahead now. And pause the scene now. Put on your sunblock in your mind. Your shield. And as you resume the scene, see yourself calmly, confidently telling that person that you cannot fulfill that request at this time. Or maybe it's at any time. You simply cannot fulfill that request. I want you to see that now. There is power in the word no. It's one of the easiest words to say physically. And we struggle so much to say it. I want you now to envision this feeling. Think of yourself when you are doing this people-pleasing. When you feel it coming on, you can feel it within yourself. Now, that feeling of people-pleasing creeping in. Feel what it feels like in your chest. Feel what it feels like in your face, in your heart, in your stomach, in your extremities. Sometimes there's a bit of nervousness to it. Think of that feeling now. And take a deep breath in and hold it with that feeling. Hold it with that feeling. And at the count of 3, I'm going to say release. And I want you to breathe out and release it. 1, 2, 3, release. Erase that feeling. Erase that feeling right out of you. We're going to do that same thing again. Think that feeling of what's left. Imagine there's 50% left. 50% of that feeling being gone. Take a deep breath in and hold it, hold it, hold it. When I count to 3, I want you to release it and release the remaining 50% of that feeling from within you. 1, 2, 3, release and relax. Erasing that feeling. Release that feeling. Removing that feeling from your mind and body. And sit with that feeling being released and relaxed and all the way out of you now. And what I'd like you to do is, wherever your hands are, bring them up to your stomach, your abdomen now. Let them rest there. And as you take another deep breath in at the count of 3, I want you to breathe in confidence. Breathe in the word no. Breathe in and receive security in knowing you have the ability, the power, and the duty to yourself and your loved ones to set boundaries. No is simply a boundary, and it's a complete sentence. The walls of my house are a big no. If I'm walking toward them, I'm going to hit into them if I don't stop. I can stop myself naturally and relieve the pain, or I can walk right into that wall and deal with the no that comes as the consequence of it. At the count of 3, breathe in confidence in the word no. 1, 2, 3. Confidence in the word no. And you can release. I want you to do the same thing again, this time feeling it even stronger, more confidence in your own boundaries. 1, 2, 3. Confidence. No. Confidence in no. Oftentimes, our people-pleasing tendencies come from a desire not to let someone down. And we forget that we often let ourselves down. And we let the other person down as well, in that sense, in straining that relationship. And in releasing those feelings, I want you to tell yourself now, I can support my own needs. In your mind, you can tell yourself, I can and should say no when I need to say no. Most of the time, what I've found is when I say no,
people just accept it with a smile even. If I say, no, I can't complete that today, or no, I'm not going to go out with you guys tonight, they just say, okay, maybe next time. Talk to you later. And those who haven't responded in a positive way, that's no longer my concern. Think to yourself, their reactions are not my responsibility. Their reactions are not my responsibility because their reactions are not your responsibility. Our reactions are our own responsibilities. Boundary setting is so crucial and healthy, and when we have good, strong boundaries, it protects us. And when we have no boundaries, it burns us. I want you to imagine yourself in a scenario telling someone no and seeing them have a hard time with it while you maintain composure. Imagine what that looks like now. Imagine what it looks like, what it feels like to remain steadfast, calm, stoic, firm and confident, strong in the face of someone who is having a large reaction, an unusually big reaction. There's pride in that feeling, and there's calm and peace. Absorb that feeling now. With each breath, absorb that feeling a little more. That calm, stoic confidence, steadfast inner peace. Inner peace. Inner peace. Inner peace. When you have inner peace, external reactions don't matter. So I want you to take another deep breath in a moment when I count to 3 and just breathe in a lasting, filling inner peace. And as you breathe it in and hold it for 5 seconds, when I'll count, you'll hold it for 5 seconds. And as you hold it for 5 seconds, I want you to imagine that this inner peace is being installed in every fiber of your being, every tissue, every fiber, every cell, molecule, all the way down to your DNA. And then when you breathe out at 5, it can install fully. You can tell yourself now, as I breathe in at the count of 3, I will hold it for 5 seconds, and I will let that feeling of inner peace resonate, echo through my mind and body, and fill me and install and absorb all the way down to the molecular level and into my DNA. You can think that now. Inner peace all the way down into your DNA. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release and download and install. Absorb inner peace. Inner peace. Do the same thing now. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Inner peace. 1, 2, 3. Inner peace. 4. Inner peace. 5. Release. Install. Install, absorb, and retain all the way down to your DNA this inner peace. And hold it within you. And all you need to do from here on out is simply take that deep breath in, hold it for 5 seconds, and think inner peace. And when you release, feel that inner peace. You might even feel a smile on your face when you release that breath. Feel that peace, feel that control that comes with that boundary. And you have that now inside you. Holding your breath for 5 seconds, breathing in that inner peace and releasing and letting it just take hold. It's like you're breathing out everything else. You're breathing out that old feeling just like we did. Those feelings come back and all you got to do is breathe it out. You got to breathe in the right stuff and out the wrong stuff. And now, as we reach the end of this session, I want you to just know that you can take this with you. And as I count from 1 to 5, I'm going to say the word peace. When I say the word peace, after I count to 5, I want you to open your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath in, hold it for 5 seconds, and really feel that peace lock in as you exhale all the wrong stuff. And come all the way out of hypnosis, feeling refreshed, feeling wonderful, feeling a newfound sense of confidence, self-assuredness, and inner peace, and the ability to form the right boundaries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Peace. I hope that was beneficial for you. I hope that you will join me again. I'll be doing this again tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll be going live and doing these free online streaming sessions. And I am just grateful to be here with you. So, as always, take care. God bless. If you have questions, feel free to leave a message, leave a comment. Make sure you're following Hockeytown Hypnotist on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. And make sure that you are... you check out my website, hockeytownhypnotist.com. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, I would love to work with you, or even as a group. But I'm going to go ahead and end this now. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and